Hello. I still haven't hung that up yet. I haven't shaved today either. I haven't had my hair cut. That needs doing. But one thing I have done is this year I said I wanted to push myself out of my comfort zone more, and I wanted to try things and be spontaneous a bit. Well, the universe heard me, and I was very lucky enough to be invited to go and see Showstoppers, the improvised musical by the Society of London Theatre. It's funny, you hear the words the improvised musical, and my mum's first reaction was, are you going to be okay with that? We all know I'm a person who I like my structure, I like to know what to expect, but as I said, I'm pushing myself out of my comfort zone, and I'm so glad I did. I actually attempted to vlog the day, and I say attempted because I didn't fully vlog the day. So you're now going to see a sequence of clips which hopefully gives you some narrative, and then we shall talk more about the show. I can use some cool transition now. Morning. I forgot I'm meant to be vlogging today. I'm quite tired still. I've just showered, hence the wet hair. Going to London. Come with. In all seriousness though, I'm trying to pack and getting very confused because it's confusing. So what I'm trying to do, oh, you've not seen that. Ignore the bright lights. Although it looks really cool, doesn't it? Well, oh, didn't really come across on camera. You'll see in the room tour. When people book me for a talk, sometimes they want to see like a sample footage of how I come across on camera. So I've got like an up-to-date talk, which I did back in November, which was filmed. It wasn't filmed, like it was just filmed on a phone at the back of the room. But yeah, just having to upload that quickly because I need to write an email while I'm on the train. But of course, can't upload a file on the train, so I need to hope that does before I go. Yeah, cool. I was just trying to show you what I'm wearing, but my room's so tipped I can't really show you in any direction. But I've gone for my jumper, my kind of burgundy, purpley bomber jacket, black jeans, grey Vans. That was the worst OOTD you've ever seen. But I need to be looking presentable. All done, can go, yay. No, you're not now. I've realised I knew I wasn't going to vlog much today. I've been shopping, went to the Lego shop of course, just been doing the Oxford Street rounds, that kind of thing. Just had a nice tasty Nando's with, do I include him? Or do I leave it to your imagination?
You're going to be so mean, aren't you?
I actually am going to be. You're not going to be in it.
Oh, really?
You can have
God damn it.
I can blur your face. I've got Final Cut Pro now.
Also, it's incredibly dark. Like, I'm hardly visible on this.
No, you're just like a figure.
There you go.
But yeah, with Liam, we're heading to the other palace. There is the other palace. Should be really, really, like, intimate. 300 people, I think. Look at that for a view. Pretty good seats. There's... You can almost touch it, huh? It's very small, but very cosy, very nice. So there you have it. I didn't film my initial thoughts afterwards, because, well, okay, so to talk about the show. You know I am someone who's an honest person, and it would be wrong of me to not be entirely honest with you. This is going to sound so like dun dun dun, but the first 10 minutes, I hated. You must listen past that though, because I'll get that, but I need to explain this bit so you understand. Yeah, it wasn't me hating the show, it was me having a me moment. I hadn't had much time to prepare for the show, and there wasn't really much in the way of preparing. The first thing that kind of unsettled me was the fact that I'd always been used to going to the theatre, and what happens is the lights go down and then the show begins, and that's how the sequence works. With this one, the performance had started before the lights had gone down, and it just messed with my mind a bit, not gonna lie, and that just, it got to me. The first person on stage, this guy was one who was talking to the audience, so you didn't have to join in if you didn't want to, that was absolutely fine. So of course, in that state, I was like, no. And he was there to gather some information from the audience as to what they wanted this musical to be, because it was entirely improvised. And we had ours set in a morgue, a funeral home thing, with the music of Alan Menken. Of course, I was fine with that one. And there were a few other styles thrown in there as well. And the first song, it took me a while to kind of appreciate it. So I'm someone, I will always appreciate talent. Once I'd got over the whole fact that things hadn't happened in the order that I was expecting them to happen in, I was just appreciating the song, and like the fact that they'd literally come up with this on the spot. And as I got into it, I really got into it and I really started to enjoy it. To contrast me from the beginning of Act 1 to the end of Act 1, I started it not very happy, but in the end of it, just absolutely mesmerised. And it was just fun. But when it got to the interval, just before they walked off stage, the producer guy said, if you have any suggestions as to what to happen in the second half, tweet in. So obviously I was like, okay, I'll do that, because I don't, believe it or not, sometimes I don't like attention. There are moments where I really do, and there are moments where I really don't. There's no in between. And just be warned, if you tweet in, they will want to thank you afterwards. So yeah, mine got read out, and yes, my tweet was rather strange. I'm showing you the tweet with no context as to what happened in the first half. They said weird suggestions, and I thought cannibalism was pretty weird. I rightly got called a weirdo. Yeah, I can take that. The second half continued, and it kept the level up. It was just so amazing to see how they'd worked every single thing in, and the intelligence of the humour of it as well. The fact that they could keep like they were referencing things that happened an hour ago. I didn't see anyone in the audience who was sat there at the end like miserable about it. I then got to speak to some of the cast afterwards, and thinking about it, I should have filmed that as opposed to just speaking to them, but it was a bit noisy there. So, and one thing I told them my situation. I said I got kind of frazzled by the first 10 minutes, but then I really got into it and really loved it. And I asked the guy who played the producer, what advice could I give to people who are coming to the show? Because the thing is, I hadn't had the preparation, because I didn't know what to expect at all. The show's actually been going 11 years, so there probably is something like this on the internet. And what he did say to me, he said to expect a celebration of musicals, which is entirely right. It really was a celebration of everything I loved about musicals. Everything, you could tell the entire cast, they love musicals. Naturally, the first time I had my reservations and discomforts from it, but I ended up switching during the performance. Normally, I tend to not like things the first time round, but then like in the second. However, with that, it managed to switch me in 10 minutes. I hope that in me making this review, saying the lights don't go down at the beginning straight away, that would help get rid of what the freak out that I had for any of you going to watch it. And of course I'd recommend to go and watch it. I think I might go and see it again actually. It's on until March 16th at the Other Palace Theatre. Now, I didn't actually use any of the accessibility services because I didn't really need to. I was invited, I had a +1 already coming, but the Other Palace do have a phone number that you can ring, an email that you can email. They also do companion tickets, so look into that if you need it. All this is laid out on the website, so go and have a look at that. If you are someone that loves musicals, please just go and see it. Like, travel to London if you need to. I'm also putting a link to the Society of London Theatre in the description, A, because they invited me, but B, because they've got loads of other theatre-y stuff that you can delve into there, so go and have a look. The show does tour as well. It's in London for obviously the next 2 months, but you never know, you might be able to see it at a later point too. Cool. I just need to point out, I did put #ad on this video and gifted. I think that's the right thing. I didn't get paid to do this. I wasn't told what to say in this video, but these new ad regulations, they're really confusing, so I'm just going to be honest about them. I think I've got the right one. I've just laid out the situation as to what's happened there. You're not being forced to buy anything, but if you do end up buying tickets and going to the show, make sure you tweet me and let me know. Cool. Thank you very much for watching. Bye.